We got a great show lined up for you today. A lot of inside stories, a lot of great things.
But I'm just gonna start something that really just puts me over the edge. This guy has a better chance of becoming a registered sex offender by the time he's 35. But I'm just going off stats,
And welcome to the show. I'm PT55 alongside my co-host,
Dunkmaster 2000, and no, I did not make up that nickname.
We got a great show lined up for you today. We got some great talking points, but before we get into that, I want to give a shout out, better yet, to our fans. I mean, today when I was getting into the lot, I was walking up here and I was mobbed by, I don't know, maybe 50 kids and older people too, and they were just...
That's interesting. I just walked by and nobody said anything.
Well, that's because you have so many different traits about you. No one really knows who you are.
I can see that.
But, yeah, okay. That was enough of that. Let's get into the meat of this topic, the meat of this show. Homeschooling kids.
Homeschool kids in college?
Homeschool kids in college who made it past high school, made it past all those awkward years.
The anomaly.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, and now they're in college.
And have social lives. I didn't think it was possible, but...
I don't think it is, in the younger years, but when they get to college, they have to.
Let's just talk about those guys that did it.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Okay. I want you to picture this, a mental image here. A guy. How tall do you think the average homeschooled college kid is?
I don't think he's usually that. He could range, but like when I think of one, he's gonna be 6'1", 6'2".
6'2", yeah.
He's gonna be noticeably tall, but not like a skyscraper.
Normally the homeschool kids are always tall, skinny, and
well-rounded kids. There's no doubt they're well-rounded.
Very. I would not argue that at all. And now, okay, so when you see this kid, about 6'1", 6'2", he's skinny, but if he worked, you would think he might actually have a little muscle on him. But because he's homeschooled, that is not in his vocabulary.
Right. So this kid, he's usually going to be like, he decides to get a job, he's like 16, and he's going to say, well, I'm not very big. Like, what do I do? So he decides to be like, I don't know, a server. Something that like you can just rely on your like intellect for, So it's a sociable job. Yeah. You're not gonna have to like show. You're not like Suns Out Guns Out does not apply in this job. That's for sure.
When you're 16 years old, what are you gonna? I guess you could do what, like corn stuff. What is that called when you're doing the corn?
Detasseling.
You could do detasseling. That's something you could do, but
that's a summer job.
It's only a summer job. You cannot do that throughout the year. So the rest of the year, you're gonna be working at. I don't know. What's a common one? Like Village Inn. Like working at a Village Inn, Perkins, something like that. And that's how you're going to be there. But the funny thing about these kids are they don't move on. Right. When you're 16, that's something you do. But when you get older,
and then all of a sudden he wakes up and he's 20 years old and
he's still working there.
That's every Saturday morning he's wakes up at 5 and that's his life.
His friends probably call him, probably text him like, "Hey, we should go do something Saturday
morning.
We should go to the rec, shoot some hoop." And he text back, "Sorry, I got work."
What is he? Yeah,
that's just something. That's a typical trait of a homeschooled kid in college.
Yeah, which is, there's good and bad things, but it's just interesting. Just look at it.
If he probably had a different job besides the same one, he would be able, he'd be able to not have those weird hours. But okay, the thing that always gets me here is the homeschooled kid always has that musical talent.
It's true.
You don't meet a homeschooled kid who doesn't have it.
It'll be like, so where'd you take lessons? And he's like, oh, self-taught. What do you mean you're self-taught? Like you're really good at drums or you're really good at anything like guitar? And he's like, yeah, I just watch a lot of YouTube videos and like I just really love the drums. Like what? You go to a public school and you ask the kid, teach yourself to play drums. No chance. Yeah, no chance.
This kid is going to take the drums, look it up on YouTube in a matter of, I don't know.
He may not have a social like event in his life for weeks upon weeks, but the drums are the only friend he needs.
Yeah, he'll walk out of his room after the weeks on end and he'll be able to jam out to any drum solo you can name.
Right.
Now,
one more interesting trait I've just noticed about like just homeschool kids who go to college is like way before they're into college, they already know what they want to do. And it's usually something like weird, like what? So like, I don't know, maybe he's like, yeah, I really want to get into like aerospace engineering systems of chemistry or something weird. It's like, okay, sure, you do you, dude. And then it's like, what? And everyone else is like, I don't know, I'll start at like business. And it's like something.
Broadcasting.
I might look into engineering. I don't know. Broadcasting, yeah, just a simple degree.
Simple things that
kind of get your foot in the door,
exactly.
and you kind of feel it out. But these guys are just like way ahead of their time, and it's like, I just don't think that's attainable in public school.
No, it's not something public school kids dream about actually going to college. The homeschool kids, on the other hand, their parents have it mapped out to them that they're going to graduate college with honors and get a job. They already have the job lined up for them.
Right.
And I mean, you can't blame the kid though. I mean, that's kind of on the parents' side, but it's the kid who actually, when he gets to college, he believes it and he just goes for it.
Right.
Wow.
And I mean, we're past time, but
we're a little past time here. But in closing, I want to talk about homeschool kids playing sports.
It's awful.
It really is.
It has its moments, but I mean, overall, like, I don't know if you're not a homeschooler, don't play with homeschool kids.
No, like the game's on the line. Say it's football. You need a touchdown. You don't chuck it up to the homeschool kid. You just don't. I mean, you act like you're going to just to make them feel good.
Yeah, like, hey, you should go for a pass, and then you don't even you just forget about it.
No,
that's the best thing you can do.
It's sad. I mean, kickball. That's another one. It's another common one.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate homeschool sport. Like, everyone's like, hey, you want to play like casual game kickball? And they're like, and if you're not a homeschool kid, you're thinking like, yeah, like we could play kickball. We'll see what happens. And they're like, all right, you guys all know the rules, right? House rules. All right, cool.
They love it too much. Okay, We're out of time, but we'll come back and with talking homeschool later in the show.
This was the phenotype of the stereotype: homeschooling.
This is RUF After Dark.